Hard facts.
Today on The Glass Ceiling, we're talking about household chores and how gender roles affect them. My name is Sandra Ezekwesili. You know that by now. And on The Glass Ceiling, we talk about the different things that hold women back, the different barriers, invisible barriers that hold women back. I always give the example of walking into an office and seeing a sign on the door that says, "Watch out for the glass," or "Don't smash into the glass." Now, chances are, if that label wasn't on that door, you will probably not see the glass and you walk smack into it. Sometimes you hurt yourself, sometimes you hurt the glass. But the people who are in that organization or that house realize that you may walk smack into that glass. So they tell you, "Here, this is some glass. You can either open the door or you can, smash it if that's what you so desire." That's what it's like for women. Women see the destination where they want to get to, but they cannot get there because there's a glass ceiling. So they climb and they climb and they climb, and they just get to that barrier and they cannot pass. And every Wednesday at 4, we talk about the different barriers, the different kinds of ceilings. And then we look at solutions, how we smash them, and we enjoin men and women to help to do this. Now, 2 weeks ago on this show, we started a conversation about Nigerian nurses and other working women in America that were getting killed by their domestic partners. That was 3 weeks ago, actually. 3 weeks ago, we talked to a journalist for Al Jazeera who wrote about the killings and about the efforts of Nigerian nurses in America to start a hotline for the husbands of these women, these working women. Then 2 weeks ago, we talked to a doctor from Yale University, Dr. Hanacho. He had done some research into that problem. And in those two interviews, the one where we talked to the Al Jazeera journalist and the doctor from Yale University, in those two interviews, one issue kept coming up: domestic work, household chores. Domestic work, household chores. It seemed to be the main sticking point that was causing conflict in the homes of these Nigerian people, men and women living in the diaspora. These women were working for long hours outside the home. A lot of the times, they're working longer hours than their husbands. But their husbands still expected them to handle all the domestic work. So I'm talking about cooking. You know what domestic work is now. Cooking, cleaning, school runs, childcare, grocery shopping, laundry. All of these things that keep a home running. And Dr. Yanacho said something interesting last week. He explained to us 2 weeks ago. He said that many of these men grew up here in Nigeria. And when they move to the abroad, they don't evolve to start doing things the abroad way. Now, I say evolve because here in Nigeria, you see these tasks, the cooking, the cleaning, the school runs, the childcare, the grocery shopping, the laundry, all these tasks, traditionally, we see them as the role, the job of the woman, for the wife, for the daughter. So here's my first question for you today. First question. There's going to be other questions, but this one is the first one. In your opinion, in a home, in a marriage, are there particular roles and tasks that are meant for the husband and other ones meant for the wife? What are they? I want to learn from you today. Are there particular roles meant for the husband, particular tasks meant for the husband, and the other ones meant for the wife? What are they? Are there roles that both the husband and the wife can play, can do? I'm talking about household chores now. How do you think the workload of a family should be divided? Call me and tell me. 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, 01-277-3993. 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, 01-277-3993, 01-277-1993. 1993. WhatsApp is available as well, and we're streaming this conversation on Facebook, so leave us comments. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Nigeria Info 99.3, and WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Olu is in Igondo. Hello, Olu, welcome. Unfortunately, Olu put us on hold. We've got you now. Hello.
Yeah, President Sandra, good afternoon.
Christopher, welcome.
What of Chief Obo?
He is not here right now.
Oh my God. Good one. For me, when my wife was there, there's no division of how do you put it? Division of labor. Or something.
Yes.
She had her own business. She had her shop.
Okay.
If I come early from work, I do the house job. I cook, take care of the kids. Before she come back. That's for me.
Okay.
And now, she by next month, it will be 5 years when I lost my wife, right?
Okay.
So if I didn't do all those things then, by now it will affect me. Although my daughter is a bit old now, she can do some of the cooking. But like 3 years ago, I was doing the cooking, doing the house job.
Okay.
So for me, I don't see it as a big deal.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right, Christopher. Thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts. Chukwemeka is in a mood of, and he says that in Nigeria, the woman should be involved in the kitchen. All right, Chukwemeka, tell me more.
Okay, as I was saying, I was like seeing, particularly outside Nigeria, you see men doing what women are doing. I think in that part.
No. I don't care what men are doing anywhere else. I want to know what Chukwemeka thinks.
Okay, on what I think that women should do more in the kitchen. But that does not mean that a man should not assist his wife or doing those things in the kitchen. I think that.
Okay, so women should do the thing, but I didn't mention just kitchen now. I mentioned cleaning as well, and taking care of the children, and going to the market and washing the clothes.
As a Nigerian man, you don't expect a Nigerian man to sweep, mop in the house as a Nigerian.
I see.
They are always out here. I think if they do more on that, that should be a disrespectful between the family. It depends on the family, anyway.
Okay, so the woman should do all the housework.
Not only the woman, I think they should have children.
No, when the children are old enough, sure. But before the children are old enough, you think the woman should do all the housework?
No. The man should assist, but the woman do more than the man.
Okay. Should the husband be responsible for bringing in most of the money that the house spends, that the house needs?
Why not?
Okay, so the wife can decide to help, or she can just stay in the house, eh?
And she can decide to help, but a man should take that responsibility of bringing food to the house.
I see. All right. Well,
it's my first time, Sha.
It's your first time. Thank you for calling us. It was good to have you on the show. I have a few more questions, but a lot of people are waiting to call me, so let me talk to them. We've got Gabriel in Ikoyi. Gabriel, welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this topic, let's break it down. Like people live like Aja where you live, and people live at Mushi, face me and face you. You don't expect a man, a father, to carry a plate, come to the front of the house and start washing. If you are living in a flat or self-controlled, that kind of house, it's more easier for a man. Like when some of us grow up, you bring plates and your big boy come front of house. You don't expect my father, when we are seeing him, to come and carry plate and be washing there.
No, okay, so that's a different matter entirely. That's when he has had you as children. Children can help with the chores. But say that they don't have children yet. It's just the man and the woman. Who should be doing what?
That's what I say. As if you are saying a flat, the man can assist his wife.
I see.
If you are still face me and face, I know you did it. You grow with a golden spoon. If you grow like some of us, we wash plates front of house.
I see.
You don't expect husband to come and carry
come and do that. In that face me, I face you. In that face me, I face you house, Gabriel. Do we expect only the husband to be working, or just or do we expect the wife to help and work as well?
Yeah, both of them should do what man can do. Man can do work inside. If you talk of kitchen, everybody put stove, on about 8 rooms. They put stove on.
No. I'm talking about going out to go and make money for the family. Should the wife also be going out to make money, or should he just be the husband going out to make money?
It's both of them. Depends what the wife is doing.
So let me now ask you. So the wife should go out to go and bring money too, but the husband will not help with the housework because neighbors in the face me face you will see him.
The husband cannot also stay at home now. I'll be working.
He goes out to work. No, Gabriel, hold on. The husband goes out to work, and he comes back to the house. The wife also goes back to the work, and then she comes back to the house to come and now do work inside the house because they are living in face me, I face you, and man cannot come and wash plate in front of face me, I face you. Why is it only the wife that should do double duty?
It's not double duty now. It's mostly in Africa, mostly made for the woman to
do double duty.
Take care of. It's not double duty. You try to make it well. There's no time now. My father has been providing for my mother for 52 years.
Okay.
As a pensioner, is he give my mother feeding more money?
I see.
They are married for 52 years.
Gabriel, let me talk to Samuel. Samuel is the last call I'll take, and then we'll move the conversation along. Samuel says that the woman should take care of the home while the man provides. Okay, Samuel, tell me more.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome, I'm fine.
Okay, Sandra, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, I will look at it from the biblical aspect. The woman supposed to take charge of the home front, like what Psalm 31 says. The woman take care of the children, take care of the home.
Okay.
So while the husband supposed to take care of the provisions in the house.
What happens if a husband is not able to fully provide for the home, and the wife has to work outside to make money?
I'm talking of an ideal situation now.
Yes, let's talk about reality now. Realistically, in Nigeria of today, should the husband still expect the wife to do the housework?
No, not quite.
Okay.
The husband should assist the wife.
Okay.
And if, for example, now myself, I'm a retiree.
Okay.
My wife is working now.
Okay.
Of the house work, I do.
Okay.
But
All right.
I take care of the children.
Okay.
I'm teaching the children at home.
Okay.
Why
All right.
I'm already retired.
Congratulations on your retirement, Samuel.
But I won't expect my wife to come back and start taking care of the children
when you're in the house. Samuel, thanks for calling. Exactly. More men should be like you. Now let's move the conversation along. Thank you so much for your opinions on that. Like I said, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions today. It's just you and me. I don't have a guest. You are my guest on the glass ceiling today. And you can leave me comments on Facebook as well. Facebook is Nigeria Info FM. I'll take your comments as the show goes along. And if you missed any part, or if you have somewhere to go and you cannot stay in the car and keep listening, this show has a podcast. So if you have a podcast app, search for the glass ceiling. All right, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Podcast Addict, which one, whatever you have, this show has a podcast. So as soon as the glass ceiling is done for today, it's going to go up. Just keep checking. You'll see when it goes up. So let's move along, right? Lots of different opinions there. You heard different opinions from, the people who called into the show about how husbands and wives should divide the job of running a home. Now, what we're really talking about here is what the academics call gender roles. Basically, in a lot of cultures and societies, there are specific tasks that are preserved for women and others for men. And everybody in the society is taught the difference from childhood. In fact, young boys and girls are trained to do the work that society says is for their gender. So if you be boy, now you suppose they do this one. If you be girl, now you suppose they do this one. And in the culture that we inherited, a lot of the housework, domestic work, house chores is seen as part of the female gender role. So women are the ones who are supposed to cook, who are supposed to clean, who are supposed to raise children, who are supposed to wash clothes, who are basically supposed to run the house. And then you ask yourself, what's the male gender role in our culture? Traditionally, the man brought home the money. I'm talking about, in the past. The man's main gender role is to go out there, work, earn money to feed the family and keep the house running. So there's a basic division of labor in the family. The husband goes out to make money. The wife manages the home to give him free time so that he can go out and work and make money. In the past, traditionally, culturally. But things have changed. Today, a lot of women work. A lot of married women work. A lot of married women have incomes that the household needs. What I mean by that is not just money that we feel use and we feel no use them. It's money that the household need them. That money they save the day for fuel, they save the day for house rent, they save the day for school fees, for cable TV, if you can afford cable TV, for food, basic food. Basically, a lot of husbands are not making enough money to sustain their families. And it's not the fault of the men. Things are harder now. Things are harder now than they were during our grandfathers' days. School fees are higher. We're about to pay school fees in September. Let's not think about that. I don't want to give myself high BP. But, school fees are higher. There are so many more bills to pay. The economy is getting tougher. Salaries do not have the same buying power that they used to. So it's basically becoming harder and harder to run a household only on one income. So now we have a lot of two-income houses, two-income homes. Before, breadwinner used to be male gender role. Now breadwinner is a shared role. Now, remember what we said about division of labor. We said in the old days, the wife took on all the housework because the man, the sole breadwinner, needed the free time to do work outside the home to earn money. But today, in a lot of homes, the wife is also the breadwinner. That means that she also needs free time to do her work outside the home to earn money. The big question is she getting that free time? In a perfect world, one of my callers said, ideally, in an ideal world, there would be somebody else, right? A third person taking on the housework so that both breadwinners, the husband and the wife, can go out and go and make money. In some houses, they have that third person, the domestic staff. Some couples make enough extra income to pay an adult to take on domestic work, which frees both the husband and the wife to do their job. But it's not every family that can afford to pay a housekeeper. In fact, that your housekeeper is leaving her own housekeeping undone because she cannot afford to pay a housekeeper to take care of her own house. Is she going to come back and have to do the housekeeping? And you know that on Hard Facts, we're against child exploitation. So let me remind you, it is illegal to bring a child into your home as a house help. If they are younger than 18 or if they are over 18 and you are not paying them, you are committing a crime. Let me just say that. But as I was saying, it's not every family that can afford a legal housekeeper. Your housekeeper probably cannot afford her own housekeeper or his own housekeeper. Now, one of my callers said, the children will do the house chores. Yes, some children have children who are old enough. Some households have children who are old enough to take on a lot of the domestic work. But even then, those children need to be supervised. So where does that leave us? It means that one or both of the breadwinners must also do the domestic work. How do we decide who does this? That's my second question. If both the husband and the wife have full-time jobs. Now, we've moved on from the first question. We're answering the second question now. If both husband and wife have full-time jobs outside the home and they cannot afford a housekeeper and their children are not old enough to do everything themselves. Hypothetical situation, but also a reality for some people. If both the husband and the wife have full-time jobs outside the home and they cannot afford a housekeeper and their children are not old enough to do everything themselves, which of them do you think should be responsible for the housework? I'm not asking what society does or what, in the Western world or in our Nigerian culture. I'm asking what you, Chukwuemeka, thinks, what you, Darlington, thinks, what you, Glory, thinks. Which of them do you think should be responsible for the housework? The husband, the wife, or both?
This is the Glass Ceiling on Hard Facts. This is the Glass Ceiling on Hard Facts.
Today on the Glass Ceiling, we're talking about household chores and how gender roles affect them. And before the break, I asked you a question. If both the husband and the wife have full-time jobs outside the house, outside their home, and they cannot afford a legal housekeeper, and their children are not old enough to do everything by themselves, which of them do you think should be responsible for the housework? Is it the husband? Is it the wife? Is it both of them? Why? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, 01277 3993. Darlington says the woman should be responsible for the house chores. Why?
Sandra.
Sir.
Sandra. You women are asking for too much. You said we should not beat you people when you misbehave in the house. We said okay. You said we should respect you. We said okay. You said we should provide. Are you not the man? We said okay. And now you're asking us to play your own role in the house.
I see.
What happens? There is a natural role for a woman. You are supposed to groom your baby. Bring up the children. That is why the society is breaking down. Because the youth are not properly groomed. A woman will give birth today, the following day she's pursuing career.
Okay, so again, I gave the example that things are not the way they were when your grandfather was around, and money meant the same thing. Things are harder. So you have a situation where the woman and the man have to work, right? Mm-hmm. Now, in that case, where the woman and the man have to work, you're saying it's still the woman's sole responsibility to take care of the house?
Why do they have to work?
Why do they have to work? I see. So you think men should do more to earn more money?
What is wrong there?
Okay.
The man is supposed to provide for the home. Until the woman has finished rearing babies, she can now pursue career. The important thing is that you, the woman, your baby, your children are more important than any career. If you gain the whole career, the whole money, and the home front is in tatters, what have you gained? Can't you see it? Since women abandon their role, can't you see the reflection in the society?
I see.
Look at the youth. Is that what we're supposed to gain? Women have abandoned their role because they are becoming too assertive. That is just the simple reason. All this, you are equal to the man, equal to the man. You can see the result. Except we go back to the basics. It can never work out, though. All this, when was our forefather?
And the basic, again, for clarity, Darlington, the basic is what? To have women go back to being in the house and men going out to provide solely for the family.
The basic is that if you watch it, why some of the men are even idle or they don't, it's because the women are taking over their jobs. That is just the truth. Women are becoming too assertive. They are all over the place. I don't know what is going on.
Okay, Darlington.
So what happened? What do you expect the man to do? And employers of labor, they're exploiting it now. They're exploiting it. So that is where things are not working out. After all, how many years will it take you to rear babies and then you get back to work? How many years? So the hurry is not worth it at all. It's not worth it.
All right, Darlington, thanks for calling us. John Vincent in Victoria Island says if they both have a job, one of them should take a lesser job. John, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As I was saying earlier,
Turn your radio off. Go ahead.
as I was saying earlier, one of them, precisely the woman, should take a lesser job that will be giving her time at least to come back and take good care of the family. I think that should be a better idea.
Okay, so if they both have to work outside, the woman should take a lesser job so that they can so that she can have time to do the housework, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Because
Why should she take a lesser job at all? Why should she not just stop working so that she can work in the house and the husband will make all the money and take care of the family?
No. In Nigeria today, it's not good for a woman to be a housewife. Because me, myself, I don't like a housewife, as in you are not working, no. Or if the man have money enough, then you open like a shop for your wife.
So you're saying that it's not good for the man to shoulder the entire responsibility of providing for the family, but the woman should shoulder the responsibility of handling the entire housework by herself, as well as go out and work and help the man make money.
No, I'm not saying that.
What are you saying?
You didn't get me wrong. What I said is, if both of them are working, okay, one should take a lesser job that will be giving him or her a chance for the family.
Yes, but it means, imagine that person is working in Lagos. It means that you're going to be stuck in traffic and you're going to come home and you're going to be tired.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So taking the lesser job means if your job, for instance, your job closes by 5, both of you closes by 5. I think one of them, especially the woman, should have a job that gives her more time to give her time to close earlier than the man. That's what I'm saying.
John Vincent, thank you for...
Or close to the home.
Okay, close to the home or earlier than the man. John Vincent, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts. Michael is Naja. Michael, what are your thoughts?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, as regard for the responsibility at home between the man and the woman, from my own point of view and the way I live with my own family at home. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is any particular job that should be left, because I don't think it's a crime for a woman to work, because except if you don't see any important or any, or if the job does not support your family. Unlike me, both of us, I and my wife, we do go to job, but she do step out earlier in the morning before me.
Okay.
So sometimes when she step at 5 and I will have to be at home till 8 before I resume office. So there are some things I do, like cleaning or whatever, dressing of bed, because she can just wake up. Sometimes she'll be sleeping. I will be the one to wake up. Please stand up. Let us pray. So immediately she may not have time to dress bed, arrange this and that. She'll just go out in a rush. So I won't be leaving those materials or responsibility for her until she returns back. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
So, what I look at it like going out for a woman to work, it depends on the family. It also helps because if a man does not have enough job that can even, take care of the family, and you think she can also support you with some token from what she's earning from there, I think it's the agreement between the two families.
I see.
It's an agreement between. So, the two parties are involved. I don't think somebody should be responsible for one particular thing, whatever.
Okay. Michael, thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts. Peter, we're going to come back to you in a bit. Let's move on to the other questions that I have on the show. I'm really loving this conversation that we're having today. Really loving it. So we've been talking about gender roles in the home. If you just joined us, we've been talking about gender roles in the home. And you just answered questions about what should happen if the husband and the wife have to work. If both of them have full-time jobs outside the home and they cannot afford a housekeeper and their children are not old enough to do everything by themselves, which of them do you think should be responsible for the cooking, the cleaning, the school run, the clothes that have to be washed, all of that? The husband, the wife, or both of them? And why? That was a question that you just answered. Now let's move on to the third question. Now, traditionally, I told you that men were expected to be the breadwinners. Women were expected to be the homemakers. And Darlington and I talked about this when he called. I told Darlington that this is changing. And now I need to mention that a lot of people, like Darlington, are not happy that this is changing. In fact, when I had Dr. Hannah Cho on this show 2 weeks ago, he and I talked about it, and he said that one of the main reasons for the domestic violence against Nigerian nurses in America is that their partners, their husbands, are not happy that these women are not doing the household chores anymore. Now, you may agree with this anger. Someone called to say it is not right that women are deciding not to handle all the housework. Darlington said that. It's not right that women are deciding they don't want to do housework again. They are too assertive. What is this? After all, traditionally, it is the woman's role. So why won't she do it? No matter what. Right? Let me now talk to you about the man's role. What of the man's role? What happens when the man cannot perform his traditional role at all? Yes, I want to go there. Let's go there. What happens when the man cannot perform his traditional role at all? I want to talk about unemployed husbands. I want to talk about the men who are not working and who are barely working. You know, say get work and they get work, we know be like work. But they come out every day, say they work. I want to talk about those men whose wives are bringing in all or most of the family income. Now, if you are like Darlington and you believe in traditional roles, then you must believe that these men are not performing. If you believe that women who do not do the housework in the house are in the wrong, then you should believe that men who cannot be breadwinners are also in the wrong. And if you believe that a husband has a right to be angry with his wife for not doing housework, and he has a right to take any action against her, then you should also believe that a wife has a right to be angry with her husband for not providing for the house, and she has a right to take any action against him. But is that what we see in the society? Not usually. What do we say about a woman who gets angry with her husband for not being able to provide? We say, oh, she's impatient. We say, oh, she's not ready to struggle with him and to build with him. We say she's a Jezebel who is fighting for position with her husband. I mean, watch our movies. Watch any movie where Patience Nozoko makes more money than her husband. See how she's portrayed. As a society, we expect women to play their gender roles without excuses, but we also expect them to excuse their husbands when they cannot play their gender roles. Women are told, oh, don't let anybody see that your husband is not earning money. Don't let anybody know that your husband is not the one earning money. Women are taught to secretly give their money to their husband when they go outside so that he's the one that is seen to be paying for things. And I have to ask, are men taught to sweep the house for their wives so that people will think that she's doing the housework? I'm not a man, so I don't know what you are taught. You call me and tell me, is anybody teaching the men to sweep the house for their wives so that people will think she's doing the housework? Is society holding the men to the same standards as women? Is society telling women to be patient with their husbands about money, but not telling men to be patient with their wives about housework? Is it okay for a wife who is the breadwinner to criticize and insult her husband for not providing, the way a man beats up his wife for not doing housework? Is it okay? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, and 01277 3993. We've got Amanze. Amanze is in Ikotun. I want to hear what Amanze has to say. Hello, Amanze. Welcome. Oh, that's actually not Amanze. This is Busayo in Ikotun. Hello, Busayo.
Hello?
Welcome, Busayo.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Am I live?
Yes, you're live now. Go ahead.
It's good to call on your show for
Great.
the first time.
Good to have you on the show. Yay.
Thank you. I think your conversation is interesting, though I've often listened to your program, but I've never called.
Oh,
I think
great.
I'm compelled to call this time.
Okay.
This conversation is necessary when you marry wrongly. You know, let me look at it from two perspectives. Number one, from biblical perspective, for this reason a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife, meaning marriage is for togetherness. Hello?
Okay.
Marriage is for unity.
Okay.
That is primary thing. Now, the issue of who does what in the house shouldn't arise when you both have understanding of the prevailing situation on ground.
I see.
For instance, there was a time in my marriage that, I've been married for 10 years, and I'm sorry to say this on air.
Okay.
And, I've never dated any woman outside of my marriage.
Well, why are you sorry to say that on air? That's a brilliant thing to say on air.
And now, at some point, the urge for sex and a whole lot more, my wife now made a statement. He said, see, if you want this thing the way you used to have it, then you must assist me to do some chores in the house so that I will not be weak and tired. And it sunk in, it was a real touching
moment
statement. And I just felt, why shouldn't I to cook, when she's not at home, to sweep? So it's based on understanding, because I don't want her to overuse herself, because that's the only woman that I have. By the time a woman begins to put some stress on herself, it shows on her look, it shows on her emotion, and it makes her age on time. So fine, the traditional role may be woman do this, man do that, but when it comes to the prevailing circumstances, understanding should play out here. That is my own take. Thank
All right,
you.
Busayo. Thank you for making that submission, and thanks for being compelled to call into the show today. Call us again. James is in Lekki. He says, no one... I don't understand what James is saying. James, tell me what you wanted to say.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Okay, my take is this. There's nobody that is above the family rules and regulations.
Okay.
A man should work, a woman should work.
Okay.
It is an understanding. I grew up in a house where I saw my mother as a child till I left the house and I started my own home.
Okay.
My mother worked every day. My father worked every day. I mean, it's as bad as I don't know how to eat outside till date. Reason, I saw Mama waking up every morning by 4 a.m., make food for us, and leave for work. I grew up seeing my father sweeping the house. And my mother comes back, makes food. My father, I mean, I never saw my mother wash bathroom, toilet. It was my father all the way.
Okay.
Now, I grew up with that understanding, and when I met my wife, I'm like, maybe this is all we'll do, this is all we'll do. I wash bathrooms, I sweep my house, I cook in my house. It is only understanding, why do you want to punish a woman? My wife goes to work from Festac to Lekki every morning. My office is at Ikeja. She leaves earlier than I do. My wife doesn't do anything in the house. I mean, last night it was crazy. She got back home by 10 o'clock. When it was 7, why should I wait for her? I made food. She came back, she ate, and she slept, jumped on the bed like a log of food. This morning I woke her up again. Baby, it's 5 o'clock. And she left the house. Why do you want to punish her? The truth is this. I don't know how much my wife earns.
Okay.
I hate it when I hear it, when people tell me the man should work and kill himself. The woman should take care of it. No. We arrange ourselves. She knows that I've been cooking for the past 1 month. Sometimes she tell you, wait, let me cook. We do cooking competition in the house. It's just understanding. Who stays with the kids? Go and stay with your daddy, I'm tired. Go and stay with your mommy, I need to watch football. It's just understanding. There is no way. Let's keep the Bible straight. The woman is the helper. Now you have to do something and the woman comes to help you. There is no way, no tradition. Nobody come and tell us that a woman should sit down and tie up and fold his hands and let the woman come and be served. It's a lie. That is why they die foolishly.
All right, James.
It's just understanding.
Understanding, that's what it is. James, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts. On WhatsApp, Larry says, good day, Big Info. In line with the example given by a caller in respect of a face you apartment, a woman worth her salt will not be pleased to see her husband washing plate in the full glare of the public. Though I am a supporter of the fact that a husband should help his spouse in house chores. Umaru is in Ejibo, says, a man with a job or not, there are roles meant for women. Umaru, tell me more.
There are roles, like I said, there are roles that are made for women.
Whether the husband has a job or not.
Whether the husband has a job or not.
What are these roles?
Yeah, a woman was supposed to, like a caller called the other time and said the role of a woman is to mow the children.
Okay.
The woman is supposed to wash the clothes especially for the children, not for the husband in particular, but if she can.
Okay.
She's supposed to wash, supposed to cook, supposed to take care of the house.
So the woman goes out in the morning and goes to work and makes money for the home and comes back and she still has to cook and clean and take care of the house while the husband doesn't have a job and stays home all day.
Like my anger is this, because of this agitation and all those things that advocate for women and women rights, women rights. Has made women to change completely.
I see.
I give myself as an example.
Okay.
I was working. I was the one that had the breadwinner of the house.
Okay.
Initially, when I got married, I told my wife, okay, stay at home.
Okay.
I will provide everything, and I was doing that.
Okay.
It got to a time. Okay, it got to a time. I said, okay, get a job, a shop. I get a shop.
Why did you tell her to get a shop?
Because she's complaining that she's bored at home.
Okay, but you were able to cater for the family. You were making enough family. Okay.
Yes, I was making enough money.
Okay, so she was bored, and you got her a shop.
She was bored.
Okay.
And she went to school.
Okay.
And I agree with her. Okay, you went to school. All I wanted to do is take care of them. Let the children go to so that they can take care of before you can leave them at home. But when she continued to insist, I had to let her. So I got it. But she has not even done that for a long time. He said, okay, she needed a former job, which she got. And because she has got a former job, she went astray.
What do you mean? What do you mean went astray?
Today, what I'm telling you now, today I'm deeply pained because today this woman has, in spite of all this, to be sincere with you, I do everything, almost everything in the house. I wash the clothes of the children. I bathe the children before they go to school every day.
And you don't like this?
You say?
You don't like it?
It's not that I'm not like. What I'm saying in essence that
it's not your job.
Did not appreciate. Even the fact that it's not my job. This woman did not appreciate it. And
she did not. No, hold on. Umaru, hold on. So she did not appreciate that you are helping to take care of your children, the children that you both had together.
No, it is not even that I'm not. Like, okay, for example, like a man was saying that, okay, like woman wake up in the morning, she cannot dress the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I dress the bed. I mop the house twice in a week.
Okay.
But
she used to do all those things. Umaru, before she got a job, she was doing all those things.
Even before she got the job, I'm telling you, even before she got the job, I do all those things.
Okay.
In spite of that, I washed I told you, when we just got married, I washed the whole, she gave birth to the child. I come home, I see this, everywhere scat, everywhere dirty.
Okay.
I come home, I do everything.
Okay.
Because as for what, I don't like any, dirty environment.
Does she help when you're doing these things? Does she help?
She does not.
Okay.
She does not.
Okay.
And I'm paying, is that, every day I listen to TV, say woman, you're supposed to be a help me, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. I don't normally call for all this. I listen to radios every time. I hear, all conversation and all that. But, it's like, cry for woman. It's not that women give birth to me. In fact, I for what I hate hearing when they're not talking. Because today, why? Because today my wife left me saying that she's singing and quoting the Bible, a man that cannot provide for his. I don't know where she got that. I provide. I tell you, I earn close to 200,000 naira. I come home, I give my wife everything, removing my tithe and my, the next transport money to work. I give the rest to my wife. And yet, we are agreed that, okay, since she has started work, we can put money together and take care of the home. But this woman, all the while, she deceived me. She never put her own money where I gave her her own money. And today she left the home, said that I cannot, just because for a period of just 6 months, I lose my last job.
I'm sorry you lost your job.
And she left the home, took away my children. Cannot even allow me to get access to my children. Now she took me to court. I get me pain.
So
I get angry. It get me angry when we hear women because even though when you have helped them to
Umaru, hold on. Now, while I understand that you are coming at this from a personal place, from a place of personal experience, I want you to see how we started this conversation. And you said that it wasn't right that she wasn't doing housework, right? And that you had to do all the housework by yourself, right?
Yeah.
But now you're complaining that she decided that it wasn't right for you to be unable to provide for the family, and that she thought that you were failing in your own role as a man, and she decided that was a good enough reason for her to leave the house. So don't you see that the way that we are raising our children, which has made us into these adults who are saying these things, is responsible for this situation where you are in now? If somebody had raised you and told you it doesn't matter if you, Umar, are doing the housework or if your wife is making the money, if someone had raised your wife and told her it doesn't matter if you, madam, are the one who is the breadwinner for the family and your husband is a house husband, do you think we'll be where we are right now? Do you think you will be where you are right now?
I don't think so.
So maybe we should change the way we are raising our children. What do you think?
Yes, I believe that there is need for change. Like I said, it is not a bad thing if the husband can help the woman. If you have the time to do so, you can do so. But if you don't have the time, if you have like you said, if you have the money to meet, to take care, to hire
a housekeeper,
person to do, housekeeper to do that, fine. But I believe that the two of you should put yourself together, agree together to do all those things.
I agree with you. Thank you, Omaro, for calling and sharing your thoughts. And I am terribly sorry about your domestic situation. I hope it gets better.
I appreciate so.
All right, then. Thanks for calling me on the show. This is probably the best episode of The Glass Ceiling that I have ever had. It's so good. Are you enjoying this as much as I am? Because I really am. Like, I truly, truly, truly am. Now, the last question that I have on this show is very important. It's as important as that last question because it brings us to the issue of violence. Now, this conversation is because of the conversation we spent the last 3 weeks having. Those men in America and the men in Nigeria who beat their wives because they are angry about house chores. The men who are killing their wives because they are angry. And what are they angry about? They are angry that these women are not doing what they believe they should be doing. So we have a situation where these men are not seeing that their wives are working outside just like them. They are not seeing that their wives are coming home late and tired just like them. All they are seeing is, I was raised to believe housework is for the wife and my wife is refusing to do it. And this is angering them. This is making them beat their wives and in some cases kill their wives. They're not seeing that they have also left their gender role behind. They don't mind, some of them don't mind that their wives are making money for the house. They don't expect their wives to be angry about the fact that they go out to make money for the family. We need to realize that the day of gender roles is coming to an end, though. More and more homes have two people working. It's no longer realistic to expect one person to do all the housework and still join to do the providing. How can we help men adjust to the new reality? How can men be helped to adjust to the fact that the society they were raised to live in does not exist anymore? If both husband and wife are working outside the home, it is unjust to expect only the wife to do all the housework. But what's the best way to get the men who are angry about this to see the justice of it? That's where we're at right now. Because if we cannot get these men to understand this, more women will be beat up by their partners. More women will die. And I don't think any of us wants that. That's it on The Glass Ceiling today. Think about that. Leave us comments on Facebook. Tweet at me with your thoughts. And if you just joined The Glass Ceiling, don't worry. There's a podcast of this episode and all our previous episodes coming up after the show. Just look for The Glass Ceiling Show on any of your podcast apps. And you'll find us there. And then, of course, you can listen to any of the previous episodes of The Glass Ceiling. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. And the UNDP says that 98 million Nigerians are living in multi-dimensional poverty. What does that mean? Let's find out on the other side of 5 o'clock.
Hard Facts will be right back.